Hey everyone, Spencer here, and this is a mock I've been working on for a couple of days now. If you look at when this video was uploaded, it was uploaded either on September 3rd or 4th. I don't know when. It's late. It'll be uploaded sometime tonight. But this is basically day 3 of SHIPtember. If you don't know what that is, it's a LEGO challenge on Flickr to build a ship. The ship being like a spaceship that is at least 100 studs long in the month of September, hence SHIPtember, and why this is day 3 of my SHIPtember mock and why this is uploaded on this is the 3rd day of September. So I've been working on this for about 3 days now, since Thursday. All the time that I have to work on this. So we can just start getting into the details and everything that I have to talk about regarding this, and hopefully this will be a cool video. So as you may have guessed, this little line of different 2x4 colored plates basically marks 100 studs long. If you want to visualize that yourself, it's 2 gray base plates and like 4 studs left. But yeah, as we can see here, this frame, which I have built right here, goes all the way down, and this frame is like exactly 100 studs, which to my drawings is supposed to be scaled right, but I kind of did a couple things a little bit differently in the building, and things turned out a little bit differently. So this ship is actually going to end up being a lot longer because I'll get into this a little bit later, but some of the stuff back here actually has to be extended back more, and then there's going to be stuff coming out the back, so it's going to be quite a bit longer than 100 studs. So I'm going a little bit over the minimum size, and then of course these 2 front railgun parts extend out of the 100 stud thing by a good 12 studs or so. I suppose a good starting point for going over all the things that I've started to make progress on in this ship would be going over the plans that I came up with. I'm not going to talk about these too much, but these are my super rough drawings just to kind of get a bare scale for what this thing is actually supposed to look like, and to just basically, the drawings are just kind of a way to write down my ideas for inspiration that I had for the ship. But yeah, so if we take a look at this here, we can see the 2 railgun things out here on the front, which I've still got some stuff to do. And then there's these two panels right here, which are these 2 giant covers, which I've sort of already started doing a lot differently in this design. These are right here. The whole ship is actually, they're not this tilted. The whole ship is actually on a big tilt right now because these panels weigh so much. And there's nothing to even them out, or the one panel weighs so much and there's nothing to weigh it out on the other side, which is going to require a couple parts, and I'm not gonna make those orders once I've actually finished designing this panel, because there's still a lot of things that have to go on it, because I want to keep a sort of consistency throughout the ship. As you can see, I added some just like random-ish looking greebles near the front, and I want to try to keep that kind of consistency going throughout the ship so that it looks really nice. I'll link a very impressive ship. I'm starting to develop a lot of appreciations for different things that I didn't exactly... I was super impressed by these, of course, before, but now that I'm actually trying out some things like building ships like this and whatever, I'm starting to appreciate them so much more. So that's the ship that I'm going to link below is just a really good example of like the consistency with greebling, and the very impressive, like, just a constant flow of insane detailing that I don't want to try, and I don't want to even try to get close to matching, but I just want to try to take some inspiration from trying to keep that kind of consistency. Of course, it doesn't exactly match the look that I'm going to be going for, which I'll get into in a little bit, but that's sort of the thing that I wanted to point out. I want to just try and give a couple tips and tricks throughout this couple update series of building this ship for anybody that might want to do it later. But yeah, I suppose we can get back to the plan, which is down here. So, where to go next? There's this kind of little main body back here, which is going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit wider than I had drawn it on any of my drawings. But that is going to be this, which is about half built right now, so it has to go back more. And then this is just the bottom section. There's still going to be a big thing on the top, and then the bridge and stuff that goes up here. But I'm not going to talk about everything that has to do with this. I'm actually going to flip this around later so we can get a better angle of it. Of course, it's angled against us here, so we can't really see that much. But yeah, a lot more progress is going to have to be done on this. This is just kind of rough so that I can see the size of it, and I wanted to start getting an idea for just kind of how everything's going to start going together, because there's a lot more that has to start to get implemented, like these two huge wings, which you are obviously drawing a lot of attention in this build, that are probably going to be necessary to this ship looking as cool as possible. These are going to be a huge design element that have to get implemented somewhere near the back here to be able to be supported. That's going to be hopefully being figured out over the next week. They aren't going to look exactly like that. I've got a couple of different ideas since then. They're going to be a lot cooler, I hope. But yeah, these giant Viper-like wings that are gonna have a couple cool features, which I'm not going to explain just yet. But I think they're going to blow a couple minds to turn this from more of a Viper into more like a dagger-like ship for different situations in combat or whatever. It's got some cool actual reasons behind stuff. And then basically all of this super long ship, when you're dealing with something which is this long, which of course is kind of the idea of SHIPtember, is to be 100 studs long, just for like the cool factor, I suppose, is you're going to have some kind of super strong support spine, which seems to be kind of the biggest, most exposed part of the ship right now. I'm actually going to flip this around so that we can get a better look at that, and I can go into a couple of different things regarding this Technic frame that I've built here. Alright, so obviously this thing being super strong is really important because there's a couple things that I want to be able to do. I don't want it to sag, first of all. Sometimes that's a design element that you're looking for, is you want it to sort of sag or whatever near the front just to get a cool like arc looking thing, but that's not what I wanted here. I want to be able to pick it up anywhere on the ship and have it look rock solid throughout the entire thing and be completely straight. Obviously, this is not a very good test for what the final product is going to be right now, because this thing is going to weigh so much more in the end, but this is kind of a proof of concept for what I'm trying to go for with this. So far, my tips for building a frame or a spine like this include just staggering your bricks a lot. As you are trying to get them offset, there's obviously, you can't really see that much because there's a lot of things getting covered up here so that other features can be implemented here, and this is starting to turn more of a final product into just a frame. But I guess we can move over here. You can't see that well, but these plates are designed to be like staggered with the bricks, and the bricks are staggering the plates. And once I actually start adding other things in, like stuff along the top here, they'll be strategically designed to basically make it as strong as possible by getting as many connections as possible on these plates and bricks. Another thing that you can do to get connections is, of course, have bricks going vertically here to basically just lock these two together. And a good way to do that is by when you're designing your ship and when you're building it and laying it out, and you basically want to keep in mind your Lego math here so that everything can go together as smoothly as possible. There's a reason that there's a 2-plate gap between these two bricks right here. It's because using different Lego ratios, I don't know them offhand, but this connection right here is super easy to do in a lot of situations, and it makes your build kind of a lot more modular and easier to work with in a lot of situations, when like your vertical things can turn into horizontal builds. Meaning, let me try and come up with an example here. Basically what I'm trying to convey here is like these vertical studs would be placing them on these would be no different than placing them like on a horizontal plane or something like that, because of just how you designed it. Like if I had a brick there, this would be a lot harder to attach things with, and I wouldn't be able to put something like this on there super easily, or make this sort of really strong connection here, or get this really easy attachment up here for this railgun, which I suppose I can show off a little bit better now that we're up here. And I'm kind of done with talking about the whole like frame and structure design. I'll get more into that later as we go on, when we get to the much more tough things like the support for these huge wings, which I am probably stressing about a little bit more than I should be, but I am. Anyway, let's get into maybe a little bit more of the detail. Now we can get a look at the bottom side of this here, which is going to be really interesting. I've got a couple ideas. These holes have a purpose, which I suppose now I can explain what this ship is going to be. Maybe you saw the title over here, which is Elsa's Ice Dreadnought. That is an outdated title because I am going to be doing a LEGO Friends ship. There's a contest right now going on Rebrick to make a Friends-related MOC, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to, you know, kill two birds with one stone, do a SHIPtember MOC and do a Friends MOC, which may or may not be an excuse to buy all the really cool Friends colors that exist that I just didn't have enough of before, because they're just the best colors. I mean, come on, guys. So now I can get back to the reason that these like holes will exist. There's going to be two more over here, like these ones over here. I want them to basically be like these holes for these drop pods right here, which will just kind of like sit there, and I want to be able to release from the top of the ship to just drop. I'm glad that didn't open, because if you see what's in here, it's just filled with a bunch of colorful studs. And the idea is they drop these pods when they like fly over the atmosphere of a planet and spread the Friends plague all around the galaxy or something silly like that. So yeah, one thing that I'm going to have to keep in mind when working on this ship is the Friends themes and colors and stuff, mostly just the colors really. And yeah, there's going to be like one Friends doll commanding the entire ship. It's going to be really cool. I only have one, which is Rapunzel. The reason that I didn't do Elsa's Ice Dreadnought was because I guess Disney Princess is not actually considered Friends, so I might just mod Rapunzel to look like a regular Friends doll. But yeah, we'll see about that. So over here at the back, there's also just like some little greebles in the middle that I'm going to try and bleed into all of this and stuff. And then there's two sets of landing gear, which I might modify to be a little bit stronger, because this ship is going to weigh a ton. But yeah, if we move down here, there's just a big cover going all the way down, just to kind of look cool. I'm going to have to add a couple things in here that are going to be necessary anyway, and this is just kind of open area for stuff like front landing gear and whatever else I need. If we move over here, I didn't really talk about this too much, I just pointed out greebles. Yep, that's exactly what it is. These take a long time to implement, a lot longer than you think they would, and a lot longer than they probably should, but I think taking the time to do that, even though it seems really slow for how little area you're covering in such a big project, it's totally worth it. There's kind of an intake right here. Don't know what the purpose is, but it has a neat sticker on it. And there's just like a random laser right here, which is on maybe my favorite part of this ship, which I'm going to actually flip around again so we can get a better look at. It's just kind of like this cover that goes over the edge of this huge panel, which is going to go over this whole section of the ship, which I think just looks super cool. I'm going to do this on the other side, and it's going to extend all the way back, but that's kind of everything that I've got going over here. I just really like the shaping of it so far. Yep, once it gets right here, as you can see, it's kind of reached this this parallel part where it's just going to go straight across. And yeah, that's it for that. And I think that brings us just about to the end of this video. Definitely expect more, because the update next week is going to be even more exciting. Hopefully twice as exciting, because I'll have twice as much time. I've only had 3 days to work for this update, but I guess progress also seems to slow down after a project starts, because everything gets a lot harder, and you hit many more roadblocks as you go on. But yeah, that brings us just about to the end of the video. Two things that you should check out. You should definitely check out the SHIPtember group on Flickr. I'll link it down in the description. There's so many inspirational things to see in there. First of all year, but definitely during the month of September, because people are posting their works in progress and you can get so many ideas and see the behind the scenes of different incredible builds. And then of course the finished models, and yeah, definitely make sure to check that out frequently. I'm going to definitely be. And my Instagram, where I post plenty of things about this ship. I've already posted a bunch of things. I'll put a couple of examples on the screen to hopefully entice you to either get an Instagram or just go follow me, because it's super cool, and I'm super active on there. And I think that brings us just about to the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me down in the comments if you got any ideas or if you just liked the video. Yep, I'll see you guys later.